Well Connected Podcast, episode 40. Welcome back. We are brought to you by American Energy and Solar. Las Vegas is one of the best cities in the country for solar, but buying can be intimidating. Our friends over at AES have simplified the process with its revolutionary Energy Freedom Instant Quote Calculator. You just plug in a few basic numbers, such as your mortgage payment and energy bill, to get an instant estimate on what you could be saving monthly. Save thousands on your energy bill annually and keep your family safe when the power goes out, all for zero money down. Go to www.americanenergyandsolar.com to see why. Use our promo code WellConnected, and you'll get 10% off the cost of your installation and a $500 Visa gift card.
This episode is also brought to you by Trattoria Italia. Trattoria Italia is a 100% family-run business. Their roots run deep in Sicily. Their family has also been in the restaurant business since 1978 and opened their first restaurant in Palermo, Sicily. The menu at Trattoria Italia in Las Vegas is rooted with very familiar dishes, Italian favorites, and it has a sense of adventure. Next time you stop by and make a reservation, mention Well Connected and get a 15% off your bill.
And if you go to
get the chicken parm.
Trattoria, the chicken parm.
Yeah.
Welcome back, G. Episode 40 of the Well Connected Podcast. You can kind of tell background here, a little bit different color.
Yeah.
We have that because we do have a special guest, one of our boys, close friend, not only a friend of the pod, but personal friends of ours.
You love saying friend of the pod. Everybody's
friend of the pod.
Everyone's a friend of the pod.
That better.
Welcome, Zech Lord, to the podcast.
Man, we appreciate being here,
man. So Zach is managing partner, or managing owner and partner over at Jardin Dispensary. Probably
right.
the most popular and the hippest, coolest, and dopest spot in town.
We appreciate that.
And then also, where
I originally met him.
Where we kind of know you as, and a lot of people in Vegas as, the guy over at the Spearmint Rhino. Yeah, so welcome. Thanks for coming on.
I really appreciate it being here, guys.
First things first, state of Vegas right now. Everyone wants to know, what's Rhino looking like? We'll get into Jardin stuff in a little bit.
Don't care about anything. Let's talk about Rhino.
What can I go to Rhino? Can I get a lap dance? And can I have a good time?
And can the mask come off?
In all honesty, it's kind of crazy right now, boys. Like, it's you got to creep before you run. You know how that shit goes.
All right.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we're almost there, but we're not 100% there yet.
Right.
You know, because right now the occupancy is what it is, and the restrictions are heavy right now. So right now you can't get a contact lap dance, as weird as that sounds.
Right.
The girl's gonna kind of dance in front of you, which, in all honesty,
which is fine.
Because I don't think you want some of these girls touching you anyway.
Right.
So,
right.
In all honesty, it's a good thing, but the traffic's been there. Let's be honest, man.
Yeah.
I've had guys spend $20,000-$40,000 in there throwing ones still.
So it hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't changed even a little bit. And it's all my cannabis boys. They come in town from LA and they wild out. They don't want the girls touching them. So they're literally saying,
just little entertainment. Just want the entertainment.
So can you almost break the reputation that a lot of strip clubs have? Like, if I talk to, let's say, either girls I've dated or family, and they think strip club, I was at a strip club last night till 3 or 4 in the morning, right? And in their mind, it's this is like a creepy, grimy little place.
Oh yeah.
But you are a family man. You have kids.
100%.
You got a girl. Like you've lived a full life, and for you, explaining that what you do is no problem in Vegas. Can you kind of touch on that? How there's like a little stigma behind strip clubs, but Vegas is a different kind of deal.
I mean, let's be honest, man. It's been around forever. Strip clubs, it's been around. So it's got a bad stigma, but it's no longer as taboo as it used to be. Let's be honest, because you got to look at the industry now. You got 11 down in Miami, and in all these other states, you're seeing strip clubs opening up more and more. And like Rhino has done it to where it's very classy. I mean, it's not your typical just nasty like cigarette wounds and bullet holes on these girls. Like, whatever. It's cleaner. So we have like clean. We have clean looking girls, and it's just like it's just fun environment. There's females that come through, guys that come through. It's just it's like an after hours kind of location, to be honest with you, and there's just eye candy all over the place.
What's the process to getting a girl in there? If a girl wants to be a stripper, I get it all the time. Seriously.
Yeah, well, they just got to audition, to be honest with you. You just got to look a certain kind of way in a two-piece.
Yeah.
Right? Have a presentable look. It's just like hiring a waitress at a nightclub.
They got to be able to talk.
They have to be able to talk. Gift the gab has to be there. But we actually do a hardcore background check on every single girl.
Really?
So if you have any kind of criminal history, it's coming up. We're not hiring you.
Again, that's like a stigma. Like people think these strippers are like
just like random chicks.
Because of that movie with J-Lo and all that. But let me, whatever that thing was called. And I didn't get a chance to see it. But
it's more Demi Moore and striptease.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's be honest, it's not like that. Like, we do background checks. Yeah, the owners are lawyers, so they're very buttoned up. The entire operations are buttoned up. We want to make sure the customers are comfortable when they're walking through those doors and when they leave as well.
Yeah. The thing with you is when I moved here in 2009, you were the Rhino guy then. And what you did better than anybody, you and your buddy Mark, were you guys were just painting the town. You were out every night at a different club supporting and bringing the girls out with you.
Yeah.
And it just, right off the bat, you were like, damn, these dudes they just know everybody. They're putting their brand out there. They get to put the girls on display. The girls go out and they find the customers. They bring them back. Like, the whole thing you guys were doing was crazy.
Yeah, it was all part of the process of breaking the stigma of what strip clubs are.
Right.
You know, we're still people that want to go out and have a good time. And it's branding 101. You got to be out there. You got to show support to the people that are going to support you. So we just made it a real, priority to go out and support all the local venues that send business our way. I mean, and it worked out. You know, I'm doing the same exact thing with the dispensary. It's the same kind of concept because, those traditional values will never go away.
They won't.
You got to take care of each other, especially in Las Vegas where it's such a service industry and hospitality industry. So you got to take care of everyone.
Yeah, I think that's where the original name of Well Connected for us came from, right? It's for this city especially in particular, one hand always washes the other.
Absolutely.
And one back scratches the next. Explain the importance of getting to know guys in the club. How important is it to have that relationship with either waitresses or VIP hosts or bouncers? And how has that really, worked out for you personally to build yourself up?
Absolutely. It's uber important, man. And I think a lot of people fail to realize just how important that is. You can't burn people because, first of all, this city's small. And we've all seen people that burn people and then they're not here anymore. They bounce to another city and then their history follows them to whatever city they go to. But you got to keep those relationships tight because we all work with each other like we were talking about earlier, man. So, for instance, if I send a customer to one of you guys at one of your clubs, I know at some point whether you're going to send me something as well.
Right, correct.
And it goes a long way because when you take care of that customer that we each send each other, who knows what it turns into because no one's trying to do this stuff forever. So you got these guys from all these, all walks of life, customers that you're taking care of from all these different cities and states. You don't know what they're doing. And if they take a liking to you, it could turn into something. And we've seen people in this industry parlay the relationship with the customers.
That's what I was going to say.
And turn into something bigger.
You were one of those people who kind of were able to parlay not only what you're doing now with Jardin, but just those relationships. I mean, every time you would come to the club and bring a customer, it would always be someone big, someone of influence. It could be an owner of a team or an artist or or an athlete or whatever it was. You did that, but you also did parlay that. I would imagine. I'm not sure how the relationship became with Jardin, but I imagine it's something to do with you being at the strip club and being the guy and meeting all these people, right?
Yeah, so crazy story with that, actually. My old my next door neighbor, he lived in the penthouse right next door, and he actually was the contractor for Jardin when it was getting built. And he knew my partner, Adam, who's the CEO of Jardin. And he was like, listen, there's a guy you need to meet because I was looking at trying to get a license on my own. And it's just, there's a lot of cash.
I can imagine, yeah.
It's a lot of headaches. And to be honest with you, we had a client of ours wanted to put up $2 million, and we had some of our own cash as well.
And you're talking about to get a license
to
for
get
marijuana,
a license
right?
for marijuana, and that wasn't going to guarantee you anything. So I didn't want to put that, take those kind of chances and that risk with someone that I was actually a good friend with as well as a client, because that $2 million was no guarantees behind that. So I was like, let me just fall back from this whole process. And then fortunately, my neighbor was like, there's someone you need to meet. And this is months later. And I ended up meeting Adam. Adam's great. We just got along right away. We shared the same vision. He saw what I was trying to do. We sat down many times before I actually got invested into the industry or into the Jardin. And we sat down, went over like a business plan of how we're going to really take this to the next level. And we just trust the process, and it is what it is right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Jardin now. Now, Jardin, for most people in town, and you can see my little sticker right here. It looks like Jardin, but it's Jardin.
Yeah.
Definitely the coolest spot in town. We've been to many dispensaries. We live by them, but I'd say that most industry people prefer there. And I think a lot of it has to do with you, and a lot of it has to do with the vibe that you created. What was the marketing plan behind not only like the looks, right, the cool green, the cool logo, but also having like beautiful women as bud tenders, having like a sexier looking place with like
hip-hop music,
DJs, food trucks. Where did you guys even see, how'd you envision that in the first place?
Well, once again, like I said before, my partner Adam and I sat down. We kind of talked about a few things of the direction we wanted to go with Jardin. And Adam comes from Miami, so he understands that whole nightlife background, but he didn't have the relationships out here yet. And so, we kind of talked, and it was just a perfect match because I had the relationships, he had the vision, we shared the same vision. I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to touch on the people. We're going to make the dispensary almost look like an extension of the nightclubs.
Right.
But with our dispensary, all those bud tenders, even though they're pretty faces behind the counter, you got to check it out too. I know you guys have seen it, but all listeners come check out the girls behind the counter. They're not just pretty faces. They actually have a lot of knowledge because we have actually a Jardin University, which is a training program that all the bud tenders pretty much have to go through in order to be a bud tender.
I wouldn't mind going through that program.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man, because cannabis is, like, a lot of people think just weed is just, sativa. No, there's a lot more that goes into it. There's a science to it, and we take it seriously because this is just the beginning of this industry. It's going to go, in the next 5 years, you're going to see major growth, and you're seeing it starting to happen already. So we're taking it very seriously because we're going to scale in all these other markets. So we want to have a platform set to be able to pick up and put in other places.
And another thing you guys do really well is you guys have, I think, what you call them, ambassadors, right? Different hip hop artists, things like that. You can talk about that?
Yeah, we tapped into that as well, just because it's part of the branding exercise, So, we have ambassadors all over the country, some abroad as well.
Who you got? Who's big time?
Oh, shoot. Man, we have all the DJs for 2 Chainz, Nicki Minaj, Rick Ross. We deal with Snoop, obviously. We just tap
That's just
into
a given,
everyone.
right?
Obviously.
Snoop is just a given when you talk weed.
He actually opened the store. Like our
I
first
remember.
stage opening, Snoop was there. Snoop's been there a bunch of times. We've done pop-ups with Rick Ross.
I was going to say, when you walk into the store, it's actually a Rick Ross like video, hype video that's on.
Yeah, we did stuff with Ross, Snoop, 2 Chainz. Actually, we're our most expensiveness with 2 Chainz, which was great. That kind of took us to the next level because that didn't cost us a nickel. Vice actually came to us and said, hey, listen, we love the aesthetic of your place. You guys are a little bit different than other stuff on the strip. Like, is it cool?
And that's that Vice, like on Facebook, all those videos that they have, right?
Yeah, it's also, you go on YouTube as well. It's got like 20-something million views already.
Wow.
So you go on there, and it was the 2 Chainz episode, most expensiveness, and 2 Chainz came in and wanted to talk about weed,
right?
And we got him so big. It was great because then we also had Tommy Chong on there as well. We rented a mansion and we did this, infused meal. It was great. The episode was really cool. Check it out if you get a chance to. But so yeah, we tapped into all these ambassadors because we saw once again the future where the industry is going, and we wanted to create a brand and a lifestyle brand. And in order to do that, you have to have people that are in the lifestyle, which is a lot of these ambassadors that we tapped into.
It seems like you guys took marketing to the next level because you can't go down any street, any major road around the strip without a Jardin billboard. And there's different things, right? There's guys, there's girls. We've seen one of our friends, Jay Sean, who's the fitness program. You'll eventually see the Well-Connected Boys probably one day.
100%.
We noticed that you get all of these different, and it's got to cost a lot of money. You guys are putting way more money behind the marketing. And do you see a nice, obviously it's got to be a return on that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's an obviously, everyone knows whenever you're starting a business, you have to put money into marketing because that's the only way you're going to get yourself out there. And as much as you've seen all the billboards, you see a lot of the stuff we're doing, we've been very cautious of how much we're spending on that. And we've seen the returns. So we're not spending as much as people may think. Like Planet 13, for example, is spending way more than we're spending.
And honestly, I would say that I see you guys out there more.
Oh, absolutely. They're spending at least 10 times more. But our reach is a lot better because of the relationships we have. We're tapped into the right people. We're going about it the right way. So strategic marketing approach is the way we're taking it.
Would you say that's the number one competition probably in town? Is Planet 13 or is it?
They're the big boys in town, don't get me wrong, but we don't look at it as competition because we have a different model than they have.
Right.
They're focusing on more of the tourist, and we're focusing more on the locals.
And you think the market's big enough for, right?
Oh, there's plenty of money for everyone to make.
If there could be a Hakkasan and an excess, there could be a Jardin in the Planet 13.
And once again, and in my opinion, and which the industry is starting to speak about now, you're seeing that the people that are focused on branding are the ones that are really going to have longevity in this industry. Because, like I said, this industry is going to shift to the East Coast,
right?
And the East Coast is focused on branding,
of course.
And so, if you're just trying to tap into just a certain little niche market, that's not going to really work. You need to really get yourself out there. And one thing that we've done is tapped into the locals. Like you said, you saw Jay Sean. You guys are going to be on the billboard at some point. The people that are well known in this city, because they're going to talk about you. They're going to be the ones to send business your way, and that's longevity going on in the future. And we're going to do that in every other market.
I honestly think that's amazing because I can give you a list of dispensaries that I personally know, I'm sure you personally know, and you as well, obviously, that we have never seen anything on them. I live and you live. I'm not going to name them. They live right by us. It's a dispensary. They got weed, but I've never seen anything.
No billboards, no marketing, no branding.
I'm like, listen, that's not sustainable market. I mean, that's not a sustainable business plan.
Yeah.
You can't do that because right now we're seeing a lot of the industry is starting to really take off with these MSOs, with multi-state operators that are licensed in all these states. They're now trying to attach with the people that are really good operators and really have a brand because they have licensing like some of these places you're talking about, but they don't have any identity.
Yeah.
And if you don't have an identity, there's no room to grow, because now what's going to make you go to that place over the next place that you're hearing about all over the place? It's a cool vibe when you walk in there. You never know, you might see a celebrity in there, because literally we have celebrities in there all the time. We don't even know when they're going to show up.
Yeah, I see them on your Instagram feeds or Facebook or wherever.
Just random. It's crazy. I had this weird dude the other day, Big Gucci something, some YouTube crazy guy.
Oh, the big dude.
Yeah,
the big
dude.
fat guy. Yeah.
That had to get kicked in the nuts.
Yeah. Oh, so, like a weed whacker. I just reposted. He got a weed whacker to the ball sack.
Dude, the dude's a nut job.
Yeah.
But listen, like we had a huge line. It was packed at the store. Like he walks in, because one of my buddies from LA was like, "Yo, got this guy coming. Can you take care of him?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Nick Hogan just happened to be there. Hulk Hogan's son, who's one of our ambassadors, take care of him. So he sees him. It was just a perfect synergy.
Craziness going on.
They want to take pictures with each other. They're kicking
organic.
each other in the nuts. It's just very organic.
Kicking each other in the nuts.
Yeah, it was just
smoking weed, kicking each other in the nuts.
Time on the retail floor. So it was just a great time all the way around. Customers are seeing that and they're like, "Wow!" So it's an experience.
Yes,
and that's one thing that we want to make sure we maintain is experiential.
Speaking on the vibe, so explain to the listeners who haven't been there, and when you pull up to Jardin on a Friday night, what is the experience you're gonna run through?
Extension of the nightclubs. I mean, we have food truck out there. We have a DJ playing. I mean, there could be a line. There'll be a lot of chaos in the parking lot, organized chaos, because we have traffic control out
chaos.
Because we have curbside, we have we have the retail floor as well. So there's girls running in and out doing the curbside deliveries, and then we also have the retail floor. And we have a line set up out there. So it's just a cool vibe. It's a fun environment where people just like feel casual walking in there. And it's not like they're just buying weed. They're going in there to really just hang out, in essence, because a lot of people just like to hang out outside as well, which is kind of weird.
And I can speak on from us being there yesterday.
Yeah.
Like we were there at 9 a.m. and it was like coming in, coming out, line, girls, guys, hot chicks.
Yeah.
And then you walk in and there's only like 6 people in there buying weed, but it's like music's playing, the chicks are hot, like they're good conversations.
Non-stop.
Like the place was a good vibe.
It's really cool, man. And we see even though
all walks of life
walk through that door, because we're seeing now that people are really, it's not as taboo as it used to be. So we're seeing people now coming for medicine, because cannabis is really medicine. So sometimes you'll see the senior bus pull up in the morning.
I swear to God, I was going to mention that. When we were there, and I don't know if you caught it, we were doing something. There was an elderly couple. They must have been 75 or 80 years old. This white couple looked like they should have been from Ohio, just strolling right into Hardy and picking up their, couple grams probably, or whatever they need. And it really hit me. And that's when I looked to him and I said, "Oh my God!" Like, I know the business is big, but we're talking. And then right before that, you just had some hood dude pull up, bumping some Rick Ross or whatever. I couldn't believe it.
It's great.
And like the amount, how many employees do you guys have? Because we actually were in awe of how many people you have working there.
Insanity.
Yeah, we have over 200 employees, which is kind of crazy, because you got to think, we're a single retail store.
Yeah, your mom and pop, basically.
Yeah, mom and pop spot. But we understood that, like, in order to have customer service be on point, you need to staff properly. And we really realized it during the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, we had to shut down the retail floor. So March of last year, when Sisolak made the announcement, all retail floors are shut down, whatever, all businesses shut down, but you guys consider it essential. So we had delivery still. So we went from having 65 employees at that point. And because we had to scale up delivery, because people everyone was putting orders in.
Yeah.
Like literally, we ended up, now we're at 200, but we ended up hiring. We never fired one person. We didn't let anyone go.
That's great.
We ended up hiring. So right now we're at
right
around 200 employees, which is kind of crazy. And every department, and everyone's needed too. It's not like we just overstaffed.
No, people were busy.
Everyone's
people
moving
were
around,
moving
and it's nonstop, because when you put in a delivery order, because of the regs, every single order has to be called and confirmed. So if you have 40 people putting in an order and that person has to call each person, you need multiple people making calls so that person at the bottom is not waiting 2 hours for a confirmation.
Right.
So we need to make sure that department in general is, the labor is set up for them as well, staffed properly. So
a lot of people that are listening probably don't know the rules for smoking weed in Vegas, right? Okay, I go to Jardin, I go buy weed.
Yeah.
But where can I, as of today, and I know things might change with the new,
legislation,
new legislation around town and federally also. Explain the do's and don'ts right now if I go buy weed at your dispensary.
It's kind of crazy, man. It's as we know, the government's backwards. But
yes,
it's kind of crazy, because if you're a tourist, technically, you can purchase the weed legally, but there's nowhere for you to smoke it.
Right.
You can't smoke it in public.
Can't smoke it in public.
Not
You can't
in
smoke it in
your
hotels.
Not your Airbnb.
No, technically, you're not allowed to do it. So it's really ridiculous. In the hotels, they fine you for
They
smoking,
do.
which is so stupid because it just doesn't make any sense.
Right. It's not like nobody's smoking weed in the hotel.
That was always like the disconnect for us doing with nightclubs because people would come in and be like, "Oh, well, weed's legal, so I'm good, right?" And I'm like, "No, actually,
that's not.
it is legal, but you're in a casino and there's gaming and it's not legal inside the casino, so you can't bring it in." It's like now we're kicking people out because they smoke weed, but it's legal.
You're
And
telling
it's
them
like
legally to purchase, which makes zero sense.
No
which
sense.
is why we're waiting for these lounges.
the lounges are a
Some
game
Yeah,
changer.
lounges
talk
are
about
gonna
that. That's a big one.
That's going to be a big one. In all honesty, I think that's going to change Las Vegas big time because now we're turning into Amsterdam. So you're going to have these consumption lounges where you're not getting banged over the head with crazy high minimums. Now it's just like, oh, I can see a hot chick smoking weed, sit down, have a conversation. And that's kind of what another reason why we're marketing and branding so heavy. And we have
Getting
all
ready
these
for that.
DJs as ambassadors because we're positioning ourselves for when that happens because now we can plug these guys right into the lounge. So,
Yes, some of these dispensaries are not prepared
They're
for
not
a
ready for
lounge.
that.
They don't have a brand, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Essence like lounge. It's like, nah, there's no vibe, bro.
Exactly. And you have to have an identity first in order to do that. We already created that vibe on the retail floor. So opening up a lounge, people know it's going to be even better, an extension of what we're already doing. So
When you talk about legislation, me and you know, we're obviously friends off air.
Yeah.
We share most of the same views,
Yeah,
probably
absolutely.
when it comes to a lot of different stuff. A lot of it's political. Explain the difference between the Democratic leadership looking towards legalizing weed versus the Republican leadership. You guys are looking at now the next 3.5 years or so. Do you see an opportunity for that's like your target? Because if you don't get what you're looking for in that 3.5 years, you might not get it again for another 10 years.
yeah, in all honesty, we really think within the next year to year and a half to 2 years, there's going to be some major legislation changes. So, because we're pretty much in constant conversations with Tick, Aaron Ford, like the politicians around here locally. So, we're tapped into that space. And, at the end of the day, I think it's about money. Let's be honest. Like, it's still taboo to the conservatives.
Right.
But they're about money too.
Exactly. That's what kind of gets me always about this.
That's what I don't get either. It doesn't make any sense. But if you want to really change everything and create jobs and just tax revenue for each state, legalize cannabis because you're going to see numbers that you could never even predict. Because Nevada, it was like a 3x multiple on what their predictions were on tax revenue. And that money, I don't know where that money's sitting right now. It's supposed to go towards infrastructure and schools.
Rainy day fund, right?
Exactly.
That was what they called it, the rainy day fund. What
but
is
it
that?
hasn't gone there.
Never rains here. Rainy day fund.
Exactly. But yeah, you're going to see it blows my mind that they have it. It's just common sense stuff. Like, dude, guys, just look at every state that's legalized. Look at the tax revenue they're making. Just follow suit, guys. There's a way to do this. Treat it like the liquor industry.
Yeah, or sports betting.
It's sports betting. Exactly.
Same exact thing.
And I think the casinos, to be honest, they're trying to find a way, because Vegas, they're trying to find a way to
find a way.
Because I've had a conversation already with one casino that he asked, hey, Zach, would Hardy be interested in opening up in a casino? And I'm like,
yeah,
absolutely. And I was like, but there's no way. Cause I was just interested, just trying to find. So
just getting a feeler out there.
Yeah,
I see that, but I don't see. I honestly wouldn't like. I wouldn't like a casino where you can just smoke weed and it's blunts, and then a nice lounge or something.
An area within the casino,
like a really sexy lounge that has people going in. You can smoke in there. It's smoke friendly. That sort of thing.
And I would
sick.
be surprised if they're not doing a little R&D right now to find out how gaming and cannabis relate. Like to see if people are going to sit at a table longer.
I just think,
or because I think that person high is going to sit at that slot machine a little longer.
And I'm not going to press you on who said that, but from my just own opinion and from working around the strip for so long, I really think it's going to be one of these one-off places. Maybe a guy like Derek Stevens who's downtown. It's going to be someone that's looking for that
chance
to take a shot
for that buzz. Whether it's Resort World, like places like MGM and Wynn, they just seem
stuffy.
As cool as they are to hang out with. It takes so long to like change their thinking, and it's almost very
like
strange.
Cosmo, maybe.
Exactly.
Right,
like
it's very strange how they're so behind.
I know,
they should be
man.
the coolest two places in town,
Right.
and a lot of times they're not.
You got to wonder who's behind the
I know who's behind them. I know
really
who's behind
making
them.
those decisions because it's common sense stuff.
Big topic lately has been the vaccine.
Yeah.
Me and him are going to talk about it later on the pod on our own. But as far as your employees, have you guys been pushing that? Is it something that everyone's going to need to get? Have you educated them on that? What's the whole company stance?
I mean, we don't want to push anything towards anyone. We're letting everyone make their own decisions because everyone has their own reasoning as to why they do and wouldn't want to do it. So we don't really push it. We really do think at some point that the government
You're going to have to
have the vaccine. So we're not really, that hasn't really been a big topic, but we were actually going to run a campaign. We're trying to figure out if we could do it or not with customers, that if you show that you got the vaccine, you get
a discount
free or something like like that.
I like that.
Again,
So we were
leading the industry in
I like that.
ideas.
We're looking
like
at
that.
doing something similar to that, but once again, we just got to look at the regs around stuff like that. So
I just want to jump back into Rhino for a little bit, if that's all
Back into the
right. If
ladies.
we could
Travis,
just,
you might have to lower this to red lighting.
yeah, next on the stage.
Yeah.
So you get to see a lot of people in there, I'm sure, celebrities, this and that. There is one celebrity that specifically talks about Rhino a lot in his music, and is known for renting Rhino rooms out, private parties, this and that.
The boy.
Who
The
is
boy.
that? Who is that?
The
Are you
boy.
able to talk about that?
Yeah, the boy Drizzy, man. Drake, man. That's the guy, man. That's my guy. He's super solid, good dude. Let me tell you something, man. Like, in all honesty, not just saying it, but like, he's one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet. Like, really good guy, doesn't need much. Because, you know, some
Very high maintenance.
They're very high
yeah.
maintenance. I need this, I need that. I want it. No, man, he's just simple. He just wants his room, hang out, have a good time with his boys. That's that.
So when he's coming, and is there a heads up, or how does a Drake party happen at Rhino?
I mean, he pretty much mentioned a little bit in the song.
I
It's kinda
heard-
funny.
I
So
heard
like,
it.
when he mentioned Lemon Pepper.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because since day one, I got introduced to him when he got the residency over at the
At
Win.
Wynn, yeah.
And so I got connected through a mutual friend with his manager, Future,
Yeah.
Yep.
who Future's great. Like, another guy that is so solid. Man, these guys are business.
Well, there's a reason why they're
savvy, bro.
successful, and they're not
Let me
in the
tell you
news for
something.
bad shit.
Exactly. Yo, let me tell you something. These guys, like, every time Future comes in, we sit down for like 20 minutes to just talk business. Like, these guys are business minded. Like, they want to know like the operations behind cannabis, the operations behind behind Rhino. Like, they're just so intrigued about business. So, just great guys in general. But you know, the first time Drake came in, I talked to Future. We sat down and we're like, all right, you know, how's it set up? So I gave him a tour of the Rhino, showed him like the room I'd give him. I said, you guys come in through an entrance, through the garage, which is very private, so the customers won't even see you guys come in. They loved it. And literally, I mean, since then, it's been perfect. He just puts his card down, has a great time.
Yeah, and there's no limit.
There's no, and the guy is legitimately one of the easiest people to work with. And like, when I heard Rhino in the song, I
Oh
was
man,
like,
that's
wow.
crazy. So when something like that happens, does that take you, like, do you feel the difference, like, as far as people coming and like the popularity of it a little bit?
Oh, it caught traction quick.
Yeah.
I mean, even my 5-year-old, crazy as it sounds.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
And let me be honest with you. I'll tell you right now, like, I've never even mentioned the Rhino to her ever.
Right.
But I played the song in the house because I was, feeling
Yeah.
good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she must have, she goes, are you going to work or going to Rhino? When I left the other day. And I said, oh, Lord, here
Oh,
we go. I
boy.
had to turn around and be like, what'd you say? 'Cause
Yeah.
she's never mentioned Rhino before ever. She's 5. So, like, literally, it's just built up a lot, man. And my buddies were calling me from the East Coast, and like, they're
Oh,
like,
it's
damn.
crazy. When I heard that, I was like, oh, shit.
It's a lot of traction came from that, and of course the owners were super happy that it happened as well. But yeah, dude, Drake's, like I said,
Is
just
that a
good guy.
surprise? Not a surprise? You guys had no idea about any of
Oh,
that?
no clue. Like,
I was wondering
really
that
had
because
no
he did the
clue.
Matt Maddox shout out thing
Did the
too,
Matt
and you're
Maddox,
like, do they have to give you a heads up before you?
No, but
No.
no clue. But and when you listen to the that verse,
Yeah.
that whole like scene, because I know when he gambles, he always gambles after sometimes when he leaves the win and he hit big, and so just the whole freestyle was
You knew the
perfect.
story. You
The
just knew
story
it.
So is
was just
Lemon
like,
Pepper? Is that because Rick Ross owns the wing stops, or is that because he gets lemon
he
pepper
gets-
wings at Rhino?
He gets them at Rhino. He gets lemon pepper wings at Rhino. So
That's
that's why it's
fucking
great. Like the first
crazy.
time. So it's just like the whole thing was just great. Like hearing the song and
Yeah.
knowing like exactly what he was talking
That's
about
cool.
when a lot of people might not have known. And I'm sitting there like, wow, this is like this
real.
is the
What we
first time
do
he
on
came
a-
in. Is what we do, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's just great. All the way
Without
around.
naming names, whether it's Drake or someone else, you don't have to say, what's the most money someone that you've seen someone drop at the Rhino? Whether that's on girls, bottles, whatever.
Private event or something.
Well, that boy Drake, man, he's the #1 dog right now. But one of my buddies from Toronto, he's from Dubai, lives in Toronto now, young cat. This guy Dan, he's a nut, but cool as hell. Very easy as well. He found out Drake came into and so he was like, "How much did Drake spend?" And I told him, and he was like, "All right, cool. I'm beating it when I come back in town after this pandemic." Like,
Holy
these guys
shit.
compete, because he's got that kind
And
of
he's
bread.
not joking.
No, he's not joking.
That's
He's
what's
got
up.
that kind of bread. So he's like, "I want that same room, and I'm gonna spend more." I'm like, "Okay."
I feel like you'll see a lot of that now.
Oh no, there's no question about it. But then I had a big guy that was in esport. Like he made World of Tanks. I don't play video games, but
Right.
he makes those video games.
Developer,
He
yeah.
came in and spent some bread, man.
What's
Like,
real? What's bread?
It was like 85.
What's
Yeah.
bread?
And the thing about it is like
Yeah, what's
Explain the bread. Is it wheat or is it white?
No, that's not what I meant. I meant like bread, like
How much?
like 400 or 500 to me is like a little bread. But
Is it focaccia? What is it?
Yeah, 85K, man.
That's
and the
big.
thing
That's
about
bread.
and the thing about it was when he came in, like he's like, all right, I just want. It was 20 of his friends. This is, probably 2 years before the pandemic hit. So 20 of his friends gave him that same back room that I always give Drake. And literally, he's like, all right, I just want 15 girls in here. He's like, just let them hang out. He goes, I want to spend no more than 80,000. I was like, okay. And then when he was at 80, he's like, just a little bit more.
Oh my God.
And literally, like, he did not get one dance.
Man.
He just was sitting there hanging out. He just wanted to have a good time for his boys.
That reminds me of Floyd. When Floyd used to come to the clubs, it was kind of the same thing. Guy doesn't,
Yeah.
doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
making a
it's
huge
just for
scene.
everybody else's
For everyone
enjoyment.
else.
Yeah.
You want me to spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever. Just make sure my boys have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. He's wanting to have his boy. And that happens a lot. Like, the guys that spend the most, it's usually because they're taking care of their friends.
Right.
Because
My friends aren't like that. My friends are trash.
Yeah, nobody does shit for me
Gino
either,
doesn't
man.
Gino owes me pizza. Actually,
I
Gino
do
did
owe
buy
you
me
pizza.
my.
I did buy him this
Can we
Aaron
get a
Judge
little
thing.
look on the Aaron Judge bobblehead? This is my guy.
I bought him that.
He
Shout
did
out
buy
to
me
the
that.
Yankees, man.
Oh,
Shout
Yankees.
out to the Yankees, bro.
I got one last question before you go.
Yeah.
You work at Rhino. You also are an owner of a weed company.
Yeah.
Great. It's a great contrast there. But obviously, they help each other out. How do you balance home life? Because you have a wife or a girl,
Yeah.
and you have how many kids? Two kids. How does that work out? And they're both what, 4 and under or 5 and under?
Yeah, I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Okay.
Balance is
Oh, boy.
crazy, man. It's just an understanding of just like work is work, and it's the bigger picture. I mean, you got to have someone that understands the bigger picture behind things, because we're all working like crazy hours, so when you have that understanding, it makes things a lot easier because there can be a lot of tension, because you're coming home at 6 a.m, then, you get up at 9, 10 o'clock, and you got to leave at 11 and be back.
Dinners,
boom,
games,
this. And all of a sudden you got this other guy that's worth 20 billion, like, hey, come with me here. And you're like,
Can't
shit,
say no.
you can't say no to this guy to go travel with this guy for a couple. So it's just hard. It's, you got to have someone that gets it.
You need
and
a strong
understands-
partner.
and understands the bigger picture because, like I said, no one's trying to do this forever. So it's just finding that right person that understands, like, look, man, like, I'm not out partying, getting drunk. I don't think you guys have ever seen me drunk.
No.
So there's a rhyme and reason for why we're doing what we do.
And I also hung out at his neighbor's house not too long ago, not knowing that you live there. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's Zach's house. I'm like, that guy's doing okay for himself. He's doing all right. Well, we appreciate you, man. If people are looking for reservations at the Rhino, or if they want to hit up Jardin, put out some social media for everyone to kind of follow.
Yeah, so for Rhino, it's just the Rhino LV, but you can hit me up at Zech Lord, and always just DM me, and I'll be able to take care of him. And then Jardin_Las Vegas, you want to check out our Instagram. Our social is pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
fun stuff to look at.
How do you order stuff? Is it on the website?
On
Or?
the website, yeah, JardinLasVegas.com. You can go to the website and put in your orders. It's very easy. They walk you through the process, and we'll take care of you. And you could always ask for me in your notes, and I'll make sure you get a little expedited process.
Oh, please ask for Zach. I can attest to it. If you ask for Zach, you always get the presidential treatment. I got it a couple times.
I'll expedite the process for you.
Appreciate you for coming by. We'll
really
have you here
appreciate you
a
guys.
bunch more.
I'll
and
see you
we'll do more
at
stuff.
the strip club.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, guys. Take
man.
it easy, boys.
You're listening to Well Connected with Chris Moe and G Bills, the #1 podcast in Las Vegas.
Welcome back. Having Zach, that was an awesome guest.
Great guest.
He's one of our boys. He's here hanging out for a little bit, probably with us.
He's gonna
but-
kick it for a little
He'll
bit.
kick it. That's fine. But talking about Rhino, talking about some weed stuff.
I don't go there. I don't go there.
I think there again. I'll just touch on it. There's such a stigma for people.
Yeah, for us, it's like just to hang out, to cool down and relax
Yeah.
after work, have a drink, get some chicken tenders or something, whatever.
And then I'm looking forward to having some weed lounges around town. I think that's the next big thing. Hopefully, like in the next 5 to 10 years. But we were on the town last night.
Yeah, we were.
St. Patrick's Day was yesterday, and I was out for probably really out for the first time in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I ended up meeting up with you. And you were at the Aria having dinner, and you were not ready for what we walked into.
No.
Me and one of my buddies, we
Came in fired
We
up.
came in hot, came in a Carbone, and we did a little gambling. I did well, but it seemed like when you jumped on the table, things went south. We call you.
Well, I mean, I ended up winning money, and my wife won money too.
when I left.
I got to tell you though, you just so you know, you play selfish blackjack. You play for yourself. You don't play for the table. You know that, right?
I make moves strategically.
You make
to make sure-
unorthodox moves.
I do. I was hitting on 17.
Yeah, you don't do that.
and winning.
I know, but it makes other people lose. You got to play for the table.
I'm not worried about playing for the table. At no point do I worry about anybody else's money. I heard
that's selfish blackjack.
one of my boys from back home always told me, mind your own pockets. Right. I always remembered that.
Well, maybe you should jump on a table by yourself.
No, because I want to see what else is going on. I like the feeling.
But the action was hot last night. The city was on fire.
Aria was fucking packed.
Yeah.
Masks were a thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Glass in between people.
The fucking dealer kept saying, put your mask back on, because I don't give a fuck anymore.
You kept doing the nose thing.
I do that all the time, because I don't care anymore.
Because you got that Italian nose? I
don't really have an Italian nose. My brother has a fucking monster nose.
Yeah. Now, you don't have that, but the girl kept yelling at you like, put it on. But it was fun to just be out and see the city. Yeah, Zach, see you later, man. You can get out of here, bro. We love you.
Thanks for coming, bro.
But it was cool just to be out. I had a great time. I got home late and got yelled at.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Not me, because my wife was with me gambling, so
yeah.
It's all good.
We can tell a little story about yesterday, too. We hung out during the day. We did a little photo shoot for the podcast, which is kind of tight.
It was really tight.
Thanks, Travis. Travis is behind the scenes, as always. Thank you.
Good?
So thank you for that little thing yesterday.
No problem, man.
Came out with us.
It's a funny story.
It's kind of a funny story. We went to our favorite deli. Well, I'll give it a shout out, Cugino's. Yep. That's my spot. I absolutely love it. We get to Cugino's. We order some sandwiches. And I knew I made the mistake. I only ate half my sandwich. I knew I made the mistake of telling you to put my remaining half in your box.
So you made a weird move. There was only 2 to-go things. I had one, and Travis had one. And I guess I just assumed you were going to finish your sandwich, because I've never seen you just not finish your sandwich.
That's true.
You said, throw that in yours. I was okay.
I made the mistake. I said throw it in, because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want them to just be taking out 3.
Yeah,
I think about costs and stuff like that.
Nice of you.
So I'm thinking when we leave. Anyway, we end up doing our thing. I go home. I text you right away.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to come over and get my sandwich.
You waited probably an hour and a half.
Yeah. But I was going by your house anyway, running some errands. I text you, hey, I want to grab that sandwich. I'm right around the corner. I'm just going to grab it. And you tell me.
Oh, sorry, man. My wife ate your sandwich.
Just an absolute heartbreaking moment for me.
I literally walked in the house because I had gone somewhere else, and then I came home, and I was like, I'm going to eat my half, So I go to the fridge, I open it up, and I go, oh fuck.
Boy.
She just went to town on your sandwich. I said it was delicious.
Cugino's Deli. I'm going to reach out.
What was that one you had? It was chicken cutlets, fresh mutts, and fried peppers. The Donnie.
One of the owners' name is Donnie. Good guy from New York. And he got the Donnie. Chicken cutlets, mozzarella, and
shout out to
peppers.
Cugino's.
Cugino's is by far, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm there. I try to go like once a month or something to support them. But anyway, a little disappointing about the whole fucking deal with my sandwich. And
you were upset.
I was upset. I got over it quick. You said it would be a good podcast story. I'm like, I think that's why you did it on purpose.
I think so.
What do you think about people eating your food when you leave it in the fridge?
I don't really like leftovers in general.
So my rule at my house is if it's in the fridge for 24 hours, it's
done.
Fair game.
No,
it's fair game.
Oh, I agree with that.
Or done.
No, yeah, that's fair.
So like my girlfriend never eats the full meal, but oftentimes we'll come back to it many times.
It's so weird to me.
You know what it is?
Fucking eat it.
I thought about this. I feel like some people think that they're able to just eat and then they're still hungry, but they don't want to say I ate a whole burrito.
Right.
And it's not just her, it's a lot of people.
No,
and whatever. But for me, I'd rather just finish it and get it over with.
Same thing, dude.
But if I have someone that has leftovers in my house and I want to eat it and it's been there for more than 24 hours, I'm not going to ask them. I'm just going to eat it.
No, I agree with you. It's fair game after 24 hours.
Because you would just assume they don't want it anymore.
Right.
And there's nothing that I would leave for more than a day.
Sorry, pal. And once it's past 24 hours, it's really disgusting anyways. Plus, there's some food that some food is just not meant to be brought home either.
Or travel, yeah. I always say...
we left Carbone last night, and my wife made me take 2 bags of food.
I saw that.
It was like, it was a ridiculous dinner we had. But like, I said, there's no reason to bring this food home. She's like, oh, it'd be so... I'm not eating leftovers. That's just gross.
I always get a call from Gino, or I often get calls from you, or Jeannie even texts me
we
like,
have
hey,
pizza,
we got so much stuff left over.
She's notorious for ordering too much food.
Huh. Well, I mean, that's a person I want to go to dinner with. I don't mind. But we did do a photo shoot yesterday. You're going to have maybe a little video, the intro video, huh? The new one?
That shit's tight.
That is. Travis will be with us now every single week, and hopefully we can shoot you guys some more content.
Well, we're trying.
Yeah, we have a lot of hot spots around town we want to take you at. Maybe do some like remote location podcasts too. That'd be kind of dope. Who was the last guy that we had that was talking about that?
Remote location pods.
Oh no, Missy. When we talk about
yeah,
Dre's.
yeah.
Ask Dustin Dre if we could do.
Yeah,
a
I saw him
podcast
last night. He was at Carbone.
Of course he was.
So I just want to this weekend, March Madness starts, and I'm
weekend
excited.
This weekend coming up,
and I'm excited. Are you
Why?
excited? But I'm not as excited as normal years.
Correct.
But like, I'm still excited just because like it's a March Madness and there's like a stigma around it.
I think college basketball is the most exciting sport
Yeah.
in ever.
Well, March Madness is like, there's nothing more exciting than March Madness basketball.
I have a dark
right?
horse. I gave you my dark horse.
Yeah.
It's UConn.
Okay.
I like their team.
I don't see it happening, but I like
Yeah,
it.
listen, again, it's
it's
a
whatever.
number 7 seed or something like that.
That'll be
but
tight though.
It's a dark horse. I like. Who are the big boys?
Gonzaga is the overwhelming favorite. They're undefeated.
They're not
They're the
gonna win.
overwhelming. I don't think they will either.
They're not gonna win.
They always blow it.
They're not
well,
gonna
actually, they
win.
won. Mark Few's got one, I think. But I like Michigan. That's who I like.
Michigan not going to win either.
So my you gonna do some gambling on this? My strategy is always I like the dogs in these tournaments. I like the dogs.
Do you do a lot of brackets?
I do like one a year. It just seemed like this year nobody really cared about brackets.
Warren Buffett again put out the offer if anyone gets a perfect bracket,
That's right.
$1 million a year for life.
Oh, that's fucking sweet.
How
do you verify it? Like, can't it just be
I think
garbage?
you have to submit it through like Yahoo or ESPN or
Jeez,
something
I
like
should
that.
do that probably just to try it.
The odds.
Nobody ever does it.
The odds of a perfect bracket. I don't remember. It's in the
15.
it's in the trillions.
A 15's beating a 2 or some.
It's in the trillions, and there's been people that have been kind of close, like towards the end, but it's impossible.
So they're in a bubble too. They're in a bubble.
Everybody?
Yeah, 25% capacity, which is nice. There's some.
So it's
fans.
probably just family and friends mostly.
Yep.
I would imagine it's family.
Yeah, family, friends. But at least they're playing. Weird though, because no Duke, no Kentucky. Duke can't play because they had a shitty year, and then they actually started playing good in the ACC tournament, and then COVID hit, and now they can't play because they couldn't finish the ACC tournament.
Duke was fucking terrible.
They were awful this year. It was a weird
how
year.
does that happen?
Duke, Kentucky sucked too. Weird year. It's a weird year.
Well, you know what it is now in college basketball, and I was actually from watching Last Chance U on Netflix right now.
Fucking great.
I'm like halfway through
It's
it. What a fucking show
great.
that is, right?
The hoops one is awesome.
The kid that dropped out of
Penn State.
Penn State, like
Yeah.
that kid was a beast.
Joe Hampton.
Let's see. I want to see these college kids stay more local and build up the local college teams.
Love that.
I'm, even with college football, I understand. You want to go to Alabama, you want to go to that big SEC schools, you want to go to the Big Ten schools to try to get in the pros. I get that. You can be way more like in today's world. You can be a marketable, and they're going to start paying college kids soon. I'm 100% on board that within the next 5 years, the NCAA is going to be paying Division I athletes all across the board. Stay local because you'll get way more support. You'll get way more blow. How many people do we know that could make it to the NFL or the NBA that didn't go to these big schools and just kind of faded out?
Right.
Stay local. I'm so happy that like Kentucky's not going to win it this year.
Yeah, it's actually nice. It's a little refreshing.
Remember like those Anthony Davis teams?
Well, my
Come on.
issue. Let me tell you my issue with college basketball, and it's really like a bigger issue because
You got an issue with college basketball?
yeah. Let me tell you, it's just the fact that you don't have any familiarity with these teams because of the one and dones. I hate the one and done.
I'm
not a fan of the one and done. The way I think it should be is if you want to go to the NBA, go to the NBA. Like if you want to go out of high school, which I think it's 2022 or 23, I think it's happening. I think that's fine. Let kids go to the NBA if you want. I don't think 90% of them aren't ready anyways, but go ahead and try. If you go to college, I think you have to stay in college for X amount of years.
Like college football.
Although
you can't go pro.
the old teams where you get to know the players and you actually like have a bond with them. Not every year it's a new team and I have to get like both of us are Carolina fans.
Yeah.
I don't know more than 2 players on the Carolina team. I used to know every player. I knew the bench. I knew all the everybody.
How awesome would it have to have Cole Anthony there for even longer?
fucking
right?
sick for 3 years.
So what's the NFL? NFL is 2 or 3.
You have to be a junior.
So you got to play
3
at least,
years.
You got to play at least
At
3
least
years?
you can be a red shirt and then play 2, I get whatever. But
right.
like, yeah.
So, and then again, like,
I get it. You want to get your money.
how do you tell a kid that came from nothing, whose family has
No,
nothing?
I get that.
You got to
Well,
wait
then
3
him
more
in
years.
college. Then. Yeah, you're
LeBron,
right.
You're gonna tell LeBron James you got to wait 3 years.
I get that.
But I kind of agree with you. At the NBA, like, look at Ball, like LaMelo Ball.
Oh, he's balling,
right?
dude. He
And
could have played last year in the NBA, of course.
Exactly. You're telling me he couldn't at least be on a roster?
No, 100%. If you're
definitely-
ready, if they're ready, they're ready. 1 year of college, I get it. It can make a big difference. You go to play for Calipari or something like he could probably shape you in a year.
Well,
but,
here's what I like about your idea better. A lot of these kids are just taking up spaces that another kid can't get.
Right, right.
A guy like LeBron, let's say,
Right.
if that college rule was in place, he'd have to go. Well, he's just taking up
a space
maybe
of a kid.
a guy like me.
Yeah, an underdog story or something.
All right, and then you're just
Which is really what college is about, man.
People have lost track. College is 100% a business. That's why I think that people are going to start getting paid soon.
Wow.
The gig is up with the NCAA.
It's the whole it's all the NBA because of the G League movement and stuff. So they want to push people to go play in the G League. Like the kid who's going to go like top 5 next year or top 3 is playing in the G League right now.
Right. Be smart or going.
He's getting paid, or you go overseas like LaMelo did.
Yeah. NFL free agency was this past weekend.
Just massive week.
Your Patriots made
Just super active.
I don't get what it's definitely they're just jealous of Tom Brady.
Well, it definitely
They're
had
jealous.
some Brady guilt there.
The second that Brady won a Super Bowl, Bill Belichick got on the phone and said, what's the owner? Kraft. Got on the phone and said, I need to make moves, or we need to make moves right now.
And Kraft was in the middle of getting a hand job. And he was like,
oh, God, he done it, yeah. Old man, his greased up body. Who's your favorite, not just the Patriots, but who's your favorite free agent move all around? Who's your favorite, and then who's the worst?
What, like one player specifically?
Yeah.
Well, let's just chat about the Pats real quick. I like what they did. They also were like in like a fantasy draft when everyone spends their money and they have $100 left. They had more money than everybody, so they were able to sign a lot of players. My favorite, I like what they did a lot. I like what Tampa Bay did. How boring is that? They brought all their guys back. I like that the most.
Well,
they signed Shaq Barrett to a multi-year contract. Brady reconstructed his contract so you could pay Godwin franchise tag and Levante David. I like what they did the most.
Yeah, a lot of times when guys win a championship, they jump ship to get paid.
Right.
But the power of Tom Brady, man. These guys, they saw firsthand. It's not that much of a different roster than they had the year before.
No.
You added some pieces, but like Gronk's not Gronk. Antonio Brown's not the old Antonio Brown. They added, or they added
Brady.
The same team. They added Brady, and now these guys see like, holy shit, we went from I don't know what they were 7-9 to a Super Bowl champ and like a dominant Super Bowl champ.
Yeah. So even as boring as that is, that was my favorite.
And the worst
thing, the worst signing was. Who was the worst signing?
I'll give you one.
Okay, go ahead. I can't think of it.
The Chicago Bears.
Oh, the Andy Dalton.
The Chicago Bears were
yeah.
in the mix to get guys like Wilson. They could even trade and make for a guy like Watson. You're talking tier 1, tier 2 quarterbacks, and they went out and they spent $10 million on Andy Dalton. And if anyone remembers, now I love Andy Dalton 5 years ago.
Yeah, the Red Rocket.
He was great. If you saw him last year with Dallas, it was sad. It was sad.
It was.
He was not a good quarterback, and they have weapons.
Well, they made an effort. They offered Seattle 3 first-rounders, a third-rounder, and 2 starters.
Offer more.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's all more.
Poor Chicago fans.
Those
guys never get a quarterback,
years,
man.
It's been
great defense.
Since Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
It's been Trubisky.
Oh, it's terrible.
Then they went out and they paid Nick Foles.
Yeah.
And
You're 100% right. That is the worst signing.
It's almost like nobody wants to maybe go there. I don't know what the answer could be because there's ways you could have traded somebody. Listen, they got plenty of guys on defense that people want. They got weapons. I mean, they got Allen Robinson.
They refranchised him, but now he's planning on holding out. He doesn't want to be there, and I don't blame him.
He doesn't want to be there. So now your star player that you thought you were going to make happy, now he's pissed. It's like they're a mess.
And what about our home Raiders? What do you think about? They were very active.
Home Raiders,
very active.
3 things. Number 1, I'm mad they didn't re-sign Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, he went to the Pats.
I said he's so underrated. Yep. They should have re-signed him. He had great rapport. He was probably our number one. He was our number one receiver.
Yep.
You can't let your number 1 receiver go. I know that Waller has more catches and all that, but he's the number 1 receiver. Second thing, very, very strange that they
offensive line.
They released the whole offensive line.
The whole offensive line is gone.
They're going to bring Richie Incognito back, I'm sure, I think.
I don't know.
He wrote that they expressed interest in bringing him back.
No idea.
But like Hudson,
Trent Brown,
yeah. Like that's 2 Pro Bowl guys are gone. So if we were looking to improve, I don't really see too much.
We upgraded on defense. We got Yannick Ngakoue. We got Solomon Thomas, which is really good D-line.
We'll have a top 5, top 10 defensive line pending everyone's healthy, right? With Max.
And then today we randomly signed Kenyon Drake to a 2-year deal.
And I'm nervous.
Paid him $14 million, which is a lot for a backup.
I'm nervous,
back.
which it's great. Listen, weapons are great.
Yeah.
But it's really weird when you have a running back 1 to sign a running back 1 Because to me, that says that they're a little nervous about Josh Jacobs. I know he had problems with the law a little bit. He kind of snaked his way out of that.
Yeah, he snaked his way. He got a really good lawyer and snaked his way out of it.
Which a lot of people do, and that's fine. But it's a concern for me.
My prediction, we're setting up for a bigger move. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, multiple first-round picks, and other shit.
Russell Wilson.
For Russell Wilson. That's the deal. That's happening.
I didn't even think about that.
It's happening.
And then that saves us a ton probably, even just on the Jacobs stuff, because we're going to have to re-sign him for some real money. Anyone else? Jets, my Jets.
Yeah, you guys did some stuff.
They did some stuff. Again, that team needs... I've been anti-draft a quarterback, but now I want that kid, Zach Wilson.
You want him. You want him.
Get him.
You want Darnold out, even though they got
he's
Corey
good,
Davis. They may get Juju.
I think he's good trade bait. I think that there's a lot of teams.
A lot for him.
I think there's a lot of teams that would still probably want him, even though a lot of teams have filled their needs now.
Let's put it this way. If Darnold has a good year or a decent year, are you going to re-sign him again for a bigger contract? Probably not. You might as well go get a rookie.
Get the rookie.
And use Darnold to get a bunch of shit.
You'll get a couple first. You might get a first,
I'm with
second.
you. If you guys get Juju and you have Corey Davis, that's a good start.
Any good guys left besides Juju and...
Will
Fuller just signed with the Dolphins.
Yeah, Kenny Galladay.
Yeah. Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Golden Tate. There's a few guys.
Golden Tate. Those aren't number one guys anymore.
So NFL super, super active. I got something for you.
What do you got?
My guy. I know you don't watch a whole lot of golf.
No, I don't.
But this is kind of cool, and I think you'll like this. My guy Bryson DeChambeau is pretty much changing golf and how you view golf, how you perceive golf, how players train for golf.
What's so cool about him? I don't know.
Bryson has basically transformed his body. He looked like me, and now he looks like fucking like a goddamn linebacker. He's huge. He put on like 50 pounds of muscle, and all his workouts are about getting his club speed faster. 2 weeks ago in a tournament, he had this was like a test. He was like prepping for this. He had to clear the water on this hole that nobody ever does. They just tried, they just lay up.
Par 5 layup.
It was a par 4, but like to get over it, you have to hit the ball 370 yards just to clear it. He cleared it. And what's cool about what he's doing...
Most people don't even go for that.
Nobody's going for that. What's cool about what he's doing is he's like embracing it, and he's like hitting shots and turning around and like getting the fucking crowd pumped up like Happy Gilmore and shit.
Oh, I like that. That's tight.
It's tight. So tight or not tight? It's tight.
Golf needs somebody cool because Tiger Woods getting into car accidents on pills, allegedly, in my mind. That's done with. Tiger Woods is not the cool guy.
We need a new guy, and it's DeChambeau.
And he's like firing people up.
Yeah, he gets people jacked up before he also does like if you watch him play, his pre-shot routine is like getting people getting himself like worked up because he's going to hit a bomb.
Does he ever shank?
Yeah, he like fucks up all the time. Yeah, but like he's also like one of the best golfers in the world, so he's really really skilled too. So I'm excited about that. I got one last sports thing for you.
Yeah,
a friend of the pod.
Okay,
and I don't throw that out there lightly.
No, you don't.
A friend of the pod, Myers Leonard, formerly a player of the Heat, just got traded just the other night. I don't know where he got traded, actually. That's pretty bad by me. But a friend of mine just got suspended and fined $50,000. He was on he's a big gamer. He was on a live Twitch.
Video game player,
I think it was Fortnite or Call of Duty, one of those games. And he threw out an anti-Semitic slur.
Yikes.
Not going to say what that is on here, what he exactly said.
Yikes.
But it's bad.
Does it rhyme with yikes?
It does.
That's not good. You can't be doing that.
No. What do we feel about a 2-week suspension and then getting traded and then a $50,000 fine for something like that? What's your thoughts on that?
Couple of things. Number one, there's no room for, as an adult, and he's young, right? You learn your lesson on dumb shit when you're young. So whether you're I'm assuming he's mid-20s.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, late 20s.
Late 20s. That's a little old to be excusing like racial nonsense, but I don't give anyone a pass on that, and I'm sure that he's probably had more public humiliation than I could ever even imagine bringing on him. But I don't think one like lapse in judgment or 1 minute of whatever defines a person always, and that goes for anybody.
Yeah, Drew Brees.
So, right, like people forget about Drew Brees.
That got swept under the rug real quick.
Or how many people we know said the N-word and whatever. Michael Vick, anybody, black, white, whatever, any kind of religion, race. I think that it's a learning lesson for him. I don't know if 2 weeks is long or short. I really don't even want to comment on that, but I hope that the public shaming is enough for him to be like, okay, my way of thinking and speaking, especially as a professional athlete, needs to change. So I think there needs to be some kind of suspension, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It is. I'm cool with whatever they decide.
And they shipped his ass out of
And
Miami.
they shipped his again. How many?
He went to like Memphis.
How many Jewish people live in Miami? A lot.
yeah.
You know. So whether that had anything to do with it, I don't know. I just don't like to see somebody get ruined completely.
No,
Because I've done stuff in my life and said stuff in my life.
You've
I'm
had
definitely
second chances,
and I've had many more than second chances. Right. So it's not excusable. It never will be. But
you're good with the punishment.
I'm good with a punishment.
Yeah,
I want
whatever
them,
that punishment is. You're good with.
and like, there's people that will say, "Well, it's the First Amendment. You can really say whatever you want." Yes, you can.
Not in today's life. You can't.
Not in 2021.
You can't.
And not when you're talking about I don't know.
And not to mention he's online playing with kids and things like that.
Correct. It's just a bad judgment call by him. He'll learn it. I hope.
I'm expecting him to make a big comeback as a player and as a person, and I hope one day we get him on here to kind of maybe he can defend himself or whatever.
One last thing on here before we get into one of our closing segments. We both got vaccinated in the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I got my first shot. You have your first shot scheduled. We both are scheduled. It's been something on my mind lately because it's all over. You can't avoid it, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, whether it's the news, whatever. Get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine, this and that. I've heard many arguments of why you should get it. I've heard a few arguments of why you shouldn't get it. I'll be honest, I have not heard one good argument of why you shouldn't get vaccinated.
I haven't either.
As an adult. Now, I don't know anyone 16 and under because that hasn't really been a lot of studied yet. They're doing studies now, which is a whole nother topic of like using your kid as a guinea pig for a fucking vaccine.
Right.
But I had to touch on this because the number one thing I've seen people say is, well, if you're healthy, which means eating healthy, working out, taking your vitamins, getting sleep, drinking water, if you're healthy, then you really shouldn't have to worry about coronavirus because if you get it, well, you'll get it, and it'll be like a flu, and you'll get over it, right? Who tells us that, Gino? Who tells us that eating healthy and exercising is the way to go?
Medical
professionals, right? Doctors, scientists. They're the ones that say, hey, if you eat vegetables and you get sleep and you drink water and all this other stuff, you're healthy. So why is why are people not listening to those same doctors when they say, get your vaccine?
I agree. I just agree with you. I don't understand.
This is more of a rant for me. I'm very confused, and I have a hard time. And there's people that I respect professionally, personally, in my family, whatever. That
refuse to
I
get
almost
it.
want to shake them
Be like,
and
go
say,
get the vaccine.
And if you don't believe me, I'm not asking you to believe me.
Trust the medical
Go to your
professionals.
doctor. I'm looking at the camera. Go to your doctor and ask them what they think you should do.
Yep.
Because I would bet that unless you have some circumstance that I don't even know, whether it's previous conditions or you have an allergic reaction to a flu shot, they will tell you to get a vaccine.
I told you the other day, I met this lady the other day, and she said, oh, you guys we got vaccinated, me and my wife. Oh, I'm just scared. I said, why are you scared? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to do it. I just want to see how it goes. I lost a family member to COVID. Okay, then you should go get it. And, I kind of have asthma too. Oh, well, then you should go get it. I'm like, well, so what's the problem? I'm just scared. Scared of what?
Right.
Scared of being healthy?
There has not been one person that died that I've heard of or know about. And listen, anytime if you're talking about vaccinating 300 plus million people, which is our population just in our country, you're gonna have a couple hundred something.
Yeah.
If you give 300 million people Tylenol, you're gonna have 2 or 3.
Yeah, they had something in Germany, some sort of blood clot situation.
That was a different vaccination that's not approved here.
Yeah.
And they came out today and said, like, again, that.
But it was also just old people too,
right?
Just like a certain age.
And they said it was very. They approved it. They said they came out this morning. I think that they said, I forgot, it starts with an A, but. Long story short, we all complain about coronavirus, especially in this city. We all want to get past it. We all want more people to come here, to travel here, to enjoy the nightclubs, the restaurants, the entertainment. If you're preaching that, I urge you to go get your vaccine and do your part. And now,
Preach
world
what
famous.
you practice.
And now I'm going to bring up the world famous Trash or Cash.
I have to piss.
Trash
I have
or
to
cash?
Piss. I have to. I'm going to die.
Gino's going to go take a piss right now, and that's okay. We're going to keep it going. Trash or Cash is going to be presented to you by Barcode Burgers. I tell you guys all the time, it's one of my favorite spots. Barcode Burger Bar here in Las Vegas is the best burger place in the city. They also have wings. They've got gaming. They've got local draft beers. You can reach out to them at their Instagram. Just search at Barcode Burgers, and you will find them. You will ask for my friend Cody, who's the owner. Cody will make sure that you get taken care of down there. From me personally, it's one of my favorite spots. Travis, me and you will kick it for a little bit because Gino's not here.
Yeah.
How do you like this episode so far? You like Zach? You look interesting,
dude.
huh?
Zach is sorry, I don't have a camera on me.
No, you're fine. You're
but
fine.
like Zach is like a great character, dude. Like the more you meet people in the industry, they're just so genuine and truthful and honest business people. That's just all it is.
Listen, the reason why we had him here is not only because of our personal relationship, but he's such a great mind in business. It's really sitting next to a guy like this, and for yourself who's younger and like working his way through business, it's invaluable stuff.
Of course.
This guy can teach you that relationships and being honest. And listen, sometimes he's not always the nice guy, and that's fine, but people respect him. And that has, I mean, I've seen him and Gino's seen him for the last decade or so just shoot his way to the top. So the fact that he's even running Jardin is wild to me because how successful they are. But I'm glad you got to actually meet him today.
He has a lot to talk about, and especially with the weed market here in Vegas.
We could have sat here all day.
We could have literally. It needs to be a weed podcast.
And you're a consumer,
of course, an
right?
avid consumer.
So will you be stopping by?
I will be stopping by.
We'll make sure we have a well-connected discount code for you guys. Trash or Cash G, 3 topics every single week. We like to close with it. We don't talk about it.
No,
we
we
never
don't.
do. What do you got for me this week?
Yesterday I was out and about, and so are you. We talked about that. After my dinner, my stomach. I got a sensitive stomach.
You got a little baby tummy.
baby tummy.
You got a little baby tummy.
I had to go to the bathroom, and Aria has really clean bathrooms, but it just got me thinking. Public dumpies. What do we think about public dumpies? We trash or cash?
Well, number one, did you go?
I did.
I'm cash on public dumpies.
Okay.
You know this from working with me. There was a spot that we used to frequent for dinner.
Yeah.
And they had one specific food item that it was delicious.
Just hit you wrong.
It just always got me, and I like not like a terrible thing, but like I felt that
Yeah.
when you're out, it's cash. You go find somewhere clean, you go wipe it down. Now the tough part is usually if you have to go and you're out, you're holding until the last second, and you get in there and you're all panicky.
Yes.
You're like sweaty, you're like your belt's off, and like the door's not locking, and like then you see and you look down, there's like pee on the seat. It's like a nightmare. Anyway, cash money. If you got to go, you're an adult. That's what bathrooms are for. Go do your stuff in there. I don't like people that hold it in. You know what it is?
Yeah.
I don't like being around people that are holding it in because I look at them like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Just go to the fucking bathroom. I don't care. We all do it.
Yeah.
Cash.
Okay. I know a lot of people that frown upon this and just can't do it because of germaphobe or just like can't do it. I'm going cash.
Ooh, listen, I thought.
I'm a public dumpy guy. If I gotta go, I gotta go. I'm very cautious about what's going on in that room, though. I'm very cautious.
Are you like it's
wiping the seat down,
I know women don't deal with this as much, but when you go down and one of your little dangly guys touches the seat, you think I got herpes.
Dude,
like, I think it all the time.
The whole thing is just a disgusting area. But you gotta just make sure everything's clean, and then you go handle your business.
That's fair.
Cash.
Well, I didn't think you'd
Both
be
of us.
I didn't think you'd be on that side of it. Vegas is opening up. I've gotten a lot of text messages. So of you, we talk about it a lot. People coming to town. A lot of it has to do with people asking for hotel rooms, discounts, all that kind of stuff. Trash or cash? Guys sharing a hotel room in Vegas. Now, I'm not talking about necessarily.
What age are we talking?
I'm talking grown men like us, 30 and up. You're sharing a room. Now, I'm not talking about if you have a big suite and you have the same suite, right?
Right. You're talking about a regular standard room with 2 beds.
Correct.
Oh, wait. Are we talking about a room with 2 beds? Or are we talking about a guy who has a 1 bed that rolls in a cot or something like that?
Either one.
Okay.
I mean, either one. Now, admittedly, me and you have shared a room, but those are business trips and
Yes.
they're expense, and that's completely different.
We don't have any choice.
I'm talking about if me and you were going to go party in a city somewhere, shared rooms, especially in Vegas, that's trash or cash.
No, this is trash. You're a grown man. You're a grown man. You're going to want to have your own space, your own bathroom, your own bed. I don't have to worry about smelling your stinky farts in the middle of the night, nasty shit. Come home, I want to have my own space. Maybe I stay out later and I come back and you're sleeping. I got to be worried about you being asleep and being quiet and shit like that. No, trash.
Well, I agree with you. However, I'm going to go cash. Share a room with your boys.
Okay.
You're on vacation as adults. When's the last?
Like a boys type of.
Yeah, like just little giggles. You're having a good time.
Yeah. Giggles are fun.
You know what I'm talking about.
I like giggles.
You're watching some games late night. You come home, you have stories.
Yeah.
It's also a good thing for your wives.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. No, that's true.
Hey, me and Gino
Don't
are both
worry. Me and
home.
Chris are staying together.
Right. We would never have 2 women in here. That's too many people in a room.
crazy.
It's against health code.
No, yeah. Travis, what do you like? Giggles?
I love giggles. I love them.
Everybody loves
Go on
giggles.
listen, I don't go on vacation. It's funny because it brings you back to like little
you're right.
sleepovers when you're younger. It's a good
maybe
fucking
bring
time.
maybe bring your video game set up.
I'm
with
not
you.
going that far, but that'd be nice. I go
Just to
cash.
really get into it. All right,
I brought the video games on a
I've
boys
done
trip
that before. I've done it before.
You have.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you play?
PS4 and PC.
Ooh, PC. You bring your computer set up?
Oh, absolutely. Set up the HDMI cable, the whole
Jesus
bit.
Next level.
Christ.
Travis is playing chess while we're playing checkers.
The other day I was driving and I saw one of these things, one of these Jeeps with the fucking sides off and the fucking roof off and the fucking this and the fucking that and the fucking blah, blah, blah. And the doors were off. The doors were off. Is
guy
this trash or cash?
Was the guy wearing shorts?
I don't know what this guy's deal was. Trash or cash? Jeeps with the doors off.
I've always been anti-Jeep.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about pickup trucks in another
Yeah.
one. But Jeep's doors off is trash. It reminds me of like a Barbie dream car.
Yeah.
You know, like, ooh, you're so cool with your no doors. Close your fucking door. And you know, like, there's literally no reason to not have doors in your car. It's a safety hazard,
Right.
number one. And then number two, like, what if it's such a flex, like, hey, look at me. And it's like, well, look at you, what, your $30,000 car? Not
Yeah.
that I drive an expensive car.
No, yeah.
But like, what the fuck are you trying to prove? It's trash. Get a normal, closed in, a nice sunroof is fun.
Okay.
Sunroof's fun.
Okay.
Open doors, garbage trash.
I'm going trash. Drop that shit. If you go on a excursion or something, like you got one of these Jeeps and you go like hiking and like you want to take your shit out and like and really open it up, go for it.
It's still trash.
If you're on roads,
Is this Jurassic Park?
okay, yeah, I was gonna say this is not Jurassic Park. If you're on main roads and your doors are off, you're a clown. Actually, we're bringing this word back. You're a squid.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to come up with like a squid alert or something. Like when I say the word "you're a squid," I need like a
sound?
Yeah, like you're a squid. You're a squid if you do this. I don't like it. It's a safety hazard. Is my thing. Like it's not safe to be driving around with no doors on. I don't like the Jeeps at all. No, trash.
Oh, that's fair. Growing up as kids, there's probably something that me and you both did, Travis. I'm sure you did it as well. That today's kids really don't do that much. They don't put an emphasis on it. Mostly because you don't use it. However, I was asked to do it the other day when I was completely baffled. Writing in cursive.
Oh.
We spent hours as kids, and how important it was to write in cursive, and nobody could figure out how to write a fucking Q. I still don't know how to do it.
No, I don't either.
Right? Or like a Z is
A
still
Z
funny,
was really difficult,
Right?
yeah.
So writing in cursive in 2021, trash or cash?
So trash. I don't understand why they spent so much time in fourth grade when learning how to write in cursive.
Show me
Didn't
how to
make
file my
any
taxes.
Yeah, they brush over all the important shit and they teach you how to write in cursive. No, this is trash.
I set you up. This is cash. Everyone should learn how to write in
Really?
cursive. When you see a document,
It's
and someone,
sexy.
It is sexy.
sexy.
The
Yeah.
sex factor, which I know you like. Being able to write a solid, like I was with my business partner, and he's older.
Yeah, the old people like writing
Oh,
in cursive.
I mean,
my mom has beautiful cursive.
Exactly. Your mom, I know she's a listener,
Yeah.
Mrs. D.
Yeah.
She'll appreciate me saying writing in cursive is a skill that we should have all kept up.
Yeah.
And I don't know why
You gonna
we
teach
didn't.
Audrey?
I have terrible handwriting, and also
Yeah.
Audrey's lefty. I think we don't know yet.
Yeah, you don't know yet. That's
She's-
weird
she's
thing.
It is weird. I'm like forcing it to her right hand. I think her mom's like forcing it to her left hand.
Yeah.
And her grandma, both her grandmas are lefty, which is very strange. So it's like I don't know what to do. But writing in cursive is cash. I think I might start practicing. That's a lie.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not
it.
gonna start
You're not gonna
practicing.
start doing that.
But I wish I
But
could.
you like seeing it though.
Man, when you see like the Declaration of Independence,
It's sexy.
or like
It's
something like
classy.
that,
It's classy.
I might get a feather pen here and just start.
yeah.
Anyway,
Dip it in ink.
Cash. Yeah.
Okay. I watched a movie the other day, and before whenever me and my wife are hunting to watch a movie, we start dipping into the trailers.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, oh, how's this movie look? I don't know. Watch the trailer. Let's see how the trailer looks. This trailer was so long. It was like a 5-minute trailer, and it gave me so much information about the movie. I said afterwards, she's like, oh, this looks good. I said, really? Because I already know what's going to happen. It was so long. It gave me too much detail. Trash or cash on trailers that are literally giving you so much information.
I don't remember the guy who used to do trailers like in the 90s, but you know the voice.
Yeah.
And then,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
He'd say stuff like, before you knew it,
Yeah.
life would never be the same.
Yeah.
And then it was just like Sandra Bullock running through fucking
Right.
who knows what. Trailers are cash.
But too much information.
I need it all. because
You want to know what you're getting yourself into?
yes, I don't like trailers. Well, there's two trailers I don't like. There's the one that only shows the good parts. That sucks. No one wants the funniest parts of the movie should not be in the trailer,
Right.
Which I agree with. But then the second thing is like I hate watching a movie and the trailer was completely different than the trailer. And that's happened before to me, where I think something's like an action movie. It's like a love story.
Oh, right.
So I want that information. Like, show me.
No, yeah.
5 minutes, maybe a little much, but long movie like Titanic, you could have done a 5-minute trailer on Titanic. I mean, at the end of the day, the ship goes down. You know what happens. But I'm going to go cash on long trailers.
I'm going trash. I just want the least amount of information, but keeping me engaged. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know what the movie's about, but don't tell me too much. Like, I don't want to know all the ins and outs and intricacies of this movie. I just want to know what's the plot, who are the main roles.
You want just the tip.
But I want to be able to know that there's. I don't want to know the fucking twist and turns. Like,
I'll just sneak that in there. You just want just the tip.
Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Just a little.
Just to see how it feels. Now I'm going trash.
Fair enough. Thank you guys for joining us. Episode 40 in the books.
Yeah, but we have one last segment.
Oh, we do. That's the new one.
Guys, this is a new segment we're trying. This one is something that I've been workshopping.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Don't let me leave without this one.
Okay. And this is called relationship advice.
And Gino pitched this to me.
Yeah.
And
Chris is a tough guy to pitch. So anytime I'm pitching ideas to Chris, I have to kind of like work it before.
You got to finesse me.
I call like my brother. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm thinking about pitching this to Chris. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think? Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, but how does it sound? Because when I go to Chris, I got to be ready. Because if I'm not, he's gonna shoot it down real quick. So I gave him this one. It's called relationship advice. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to give you one topic, and me and Chris are going to give both of our stances on it. So today's topic is, in a relationship, going through the significant other's phone.
Oh my God.
Yep. What do you think, Chris?
Let's wrap this up and keep it short because I got a quick little stance on this. If you go through your partner's phone and you're over the age of 16 years old, you're trash. Well, it's not a trash or cash thing, but
yeah,
you're just garbage. Stay out of their phone. Two things. Number one, you're going to find something you don't want to see. Number two, you're going to take something way out of context. And usually it's the second one. Usually, listen, guys have girlfriends. Girls have guy friends. If my girl didn't have guy friends,
you think it's weird?
Then I would.
She's hiding something.
I'd be more concerned.
Right.
I have a lot of girlfriends. You do too, from working with how we work.
Of course.
And listen, if I was an architect or if I was a fucking a garbage man, I could see myself not having many female friends.
Yeah, you don't work in nightlife.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I'm in nightlife, when the majority of the
you work
people
9 to 5, you come home after work, you probably don't have that many friends.
Correct. I've been working.
Might be weird if you're
I've
texting
been working
Ashley.
in the nightlife business for 20 years.
Yeah.
I have female friends.
Right.
My girl understands that. We have boundaries that we set, which I think is fair. But don't go through someone's phone. That's hot garbage, literally. And I think that, again, most of the things you end up seeing, you in your own head will run all these scenarios, and it's like, not a big deal. And here's my other thing, and I say this all the time, and I've said this a lot. If your guy or girl is cheating on you, it don't fucking matter what you do. It don't matter if you go through their phone. They're going to do it anyway. They're going to find a way because that's a character flaw. That's just something they want to do. Don't do it.
I like that. So a few thoughts on this. First one is, yes, I'm agreeing with you. Everything gets taken out of context, right? Like nothing good will ever come about looking at someone else's phone. Like
Never.
Nothing ever good comes out of that.
And for the record, I don't want to look at my girlfriend's phone for the same reason.
And we've all been in relationships that are unhealthy, and we've gone through the other person's phone, or they've gone through your phone,
right.
and like something always pops up. Now it's definitely different today too with social media, because there's always a DM, or you actually like a story and like you hit like 100 on it or something stupid and it popped up in your DM, like whatever, it's a girl's thing, whatever,
right.
Like you're a friendly guy, whatever. And then your girl looks at your phone and it gets taken out of context. I don't love that at all. I just think there has to be boundaries. There has to be trust in the relationship. And the phone and the technology has gotten... How many times have you been caught up on stupid shit or gotten stupid arguments about technology?
A ton. And my biggest thing is, I also tell, my girlfriend and the people I've been with, and I've done shady stuff in the past, but again, it had really nothing to do with the phone, right?
Right.
If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. My biggest thing is, my stuff is there is a boundary of my private stuff. Like my conversations for you, to example.
Correct.
Like
our conversations could easily be taken out of context.
Right, and we're not doing anything. Just my conversations with my friends, the reason why I'm texting them and I'm not putting it on a smoke signal for everyone to see is because it's private.
So
whether it's good or bad or about women or not women, whatever, like,
Right.
my conversations themselves are just private. I'm still an individual. And you got to think of it. People are like, oh, I miss the old school love. My fucking parents didn't have that
They didn't have to go through this type of shit.
Their conversations were all private. So there needs to be some kind of level of privacy, I believe, in a relationship.
I would certainly say in this day and age, there's so many more distractions, or what's the word? Temptations, distractions, especially in this city. What would be your advice to? We've all been in, like, I always talk about nightlife because that's what I know. We both know we've been in it a long time. We've been in these nightlife relationships. What's your advice to somebody who's in a nightlife relationship? Maybe a host dating a cocktail waitress or a bartender dating a bartender as well.
It's really it's one thing. And I wish I would have done this when I was younger. It's hard to give yourself or to give advice when you didn't follow it when you were younger, but I definitely follow it now. I am 100% honest. As in, my needs and my wants, I'm very honest with. If I wasn't ready to settle down, I just wouldn't do it.
Right.
I told you that. I've told you this personally. If I was at the point, if I was 25 to 30 years old, going back in time, working in the nightlife business, I just wouldn't have a girlfriend. I always had a girlfriend because I thought that that's what I wanted at the time. And because I did. Having a girlfriend's great.
Right.
Yeah, I love doing stuff like that. But I wasn't the best boyfriend all the time because it really wasn't what I wanted.
Right.
Or it wasn't conducive to my life. I needed to live a little bit more. And, vice versa. I've been with some girls that haven't been great to me. The same kind of deal. But my advice would be just be honest with yourself. If you know that you're not done having your own fun yet,
right?
Which fun is a relative word. I have fun right now, and I'm in a relationship,
right.
And you do too. But if you're not done doing what you're doing, just don't jump into
it.
That's it. That's like very cut and dry.
I think that's fair. That's relationship advice.
That's Gino's relationship advice. Travis, what do you think? Going through your girlfriend's phone or boyfriend's phone?
No, just don't do it. Because you're right, you're not going to find anything that you're going to want to see. What are you going to say? Oh my God, babe, you were planning a gift. I love you. You're ruining a gift at that point, right?
That's a good spin.
So,
I need to use that one. Babe, I don't want you to look through my phone because I got all your gifts lined up in there for my text messages.
That's a good one.
Yeah, don't do that.
Cut this part out and let's redo that.
Yeah, cut.
Yeah, thank you guys. You got any more segments you want to do before we leave?
No, that was it.
All right,
We're just workshopping it, baby.
That was tight. Episode 40 is in the books. Thank you to Zech Lord. Make sure you follow us at Well Connected IG and Instagram, and also at our YouTube channel. YouTube's a big one. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Yeah, we want you guys to see us live. Well Connected Podcast. I am Chris Morahan. You can follow me, Gino DePietro, my co-host. Thank you, Travis. Thank you again. We'll see you guys next time.